All right, we're live, bro. Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm JJ, and this is episode 11 of JJ's New England Sports Corner. In this episode, we're going to be addressing the Red Sox performance this past week regarding their series with the Royals, as well as the Twins that just wrapped up earlier today, as of the time I'm recording. And I'm also going to be addressing the Jaylen Brown trade rumors that has been ever so prevalent ever since the Celtics elimination from the NBA playoffs. Without further ado, let's get started. Very, very conflicted with the Red Sox throughout this week. Of course, they swept the Royals. They swept the Royals in the middle of the week, and then got swept by the Minnesota Twins. And I mean, it sucks. It sucks because the Red Sox legitimately looked really good. I thought they might have been turning a corner with this Royals series, and then they just go out and undo pretty much all the momentum they had after that Royals series is now gone after this series with the Twins. And now they're going to have to face off against the hottest team in baseball with absolutely no momentum on their side. And now they're going to have to go up against, they're going to be going up against Chris Sale in the final game as well. So, yeah, I mean, there's this, I'm feeling particularly down about the Red Sox right now because, you know, usually at the very least, the Red Sox can get at least one game, but they just didn't. I mean, the Twins just have their number for whatever reason. You know, in the series against the Royals, the pitching was phenomenal, especially from the bullpen. They didn't allow a single earned run in that entire Royals series. The bullpen didn't allow a single run against the Royals. And then, you know, it just went downhill immediately. You know, in Game 2 of the series on Saturday, Justin Slayton absolutely laid a fat deuce in his pants. And then earlier today, Garrett Whitlock did too. You know, I know Garrett Whitlock technically only allowed one run, but he let the runners that Tyron Guerrero get on base. He was still the guy at the end of the day that allowed all the hits that scored the runs. So yeah, just a real bad series from the bullpen here, or specifically from two of the guys that the Red Sox are depending on in order to get key outs. So that sucks. Also, Tyler Samaniego, I am so legitimately confused as to why he was the guy that got sent down when Danny Coulomb came back from the IL. Because, I mean, hold on, let me just... Because, I mean, he was pitching, like, fantastic. Yeah, like, he had... Yeah, like, he had... in 17 and a third innings, he had a 1.04 ERA and a 1.1 FIP, or a 1.154 WHIP. Like, why is Samaniego the guy that's getting sent down when he's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is a quality pitcher and can give the Red Sox quality innings? He even did it against the Twins. So, I mean, I just don't get why he's getting sent down. You could have sent down Ryan Watson if you wanted to. Like, you know, he's not really he wasn't really doing well at all this year. Although at the same time, he actually did pitch pretty impressively this series against the Twins. He had a couple appearances. I believe he didn't allow a run in this series. So I'll give him kudos for that. He did step up this game. He did step up his game this series. Or no, I'm sorry, just that one appearance. But he went the last 2 innings of the Twins game, and he was nails. He was shut down. So major credit to Ryan Watson in Game 2 for stepping up his performance and giving the Red Sox a chance to win by just completely stifling that the Twins offense. But it just feels like the Red Sox are just finding ways to lose. Like, one day it's, lack of offense. The second game of the series, they only scored 2 runs. And the bats are just pretty awful outside of Wilson Contreras. And then this game they were definitely better. They were definitely better offensively. Contreras, Wilyer Abreu, and Yoshida and Masataka Yoshida all had multi-hit performances in this game. But then it's like you get to the bottom of the lineup and you got one hit. You get one combined hit from the 6 through 9 guys in your order. And that's including, Mickey Gasper who pinch hit, who was a pinch hitter in the game. You get one combined hit from those 4 spots in the order, almost guaranteed outs for the Red Sox. And they did it in Game 2 of that series as well. All those spots were hitless actually in Game 2, and they only mustered one hit in the game on Sunday. So, just having basically guaranteed outs is just so entirely frustrating. I can't really articulate just how frustrating it is to have that many essentially guaranteed outs every game. It's killing the Red Sox right now. I truthfully did not think that the Red Sox offense would be this bad. But I certainly knew there'd be a lack of power. I'll say that. I wasn't that naive, but I wasn't that naive to think that there was boatloads of power in this offense. But legitimately, outside of Contreras, pretty much, there isn't much power on this team. Wilyer Abreu has cooled off. He's been pretty mediocre ever since late April. So he's sort of just kind of teetered out. Granted, he was one of the best. He might have been the best hitter in baseball throughout the first He might have been the best hitter in baseball for the first 2 weeks of the year. Obviously, I knew that wasn't going to be sustainable. Obviously, I knew that's not the level. I know that's not the level to expect out of Wilyer Abreu. But I can't help but feel somewhat disappointed. Somewhat disappointed over the last couple-ish weeks or so. And then the pitching just seems to be crapping out. I know I'm not saying anything new. I know I'm not really trending new ground here, but maybe this is more or less my place to vent about this stuff. But yeah, it hurt. It hurt that Sonny Gray couldn't make it 5 innings. The Red Sox really had to rely on their bullpen again. Tyron Guerrero wasn't exactly good. Obviously Whitlock is the guy that's kind of on my that's kind of on my shit list right now. I'm very disappointed in Whitlock right now. I'm just disappointed in like a lot of the staff. And also, lastly, what I want to point out about the Sunday's game, another thing I want to point out is that why is Connor Wong? Why are you giving Connor Wong the wave home in that situation on that IKF RBI double? Why of all people is Connor Wong the guy you're giving the green light to? That doesn't make sense to me. And no, this is not just because he was out. I was saying it was a bad send before the ball ever even got to the catcher's glove. Like, I knew it was a bad send right away, and he still went for it. Yeah, Connor Wong's faster than Carlos Narvaez, but Connor Wong is still not the kind of guy you should be getting that aggressive with on the base paths, especially if he's getting a bad read on the ball. A lot of people are. I've seen some people who are really frustrated with Connor Wong and him not being able to read the ball properly. But I'm also pissed off at Chad Epperson for giving him the send. I'm more pissed off at Epperson than I am about Wong. Because I can forgive not getting a right read on a fly ball, whether it's about to go off the wall or if it's just gonna land on the warning track and it gets caught. That's whatever. I don't really care. But that was just a bad send by Chad Epperson. And also it hurts knowing that the guy out there pitching for the Twins, Gomez, he balked before he ever delivered a pitch to Duran. So if he stayed at home, let's say, so if Connor Wong stayed at third and he still balked, that would have tied the game. That would have tied the game if Wong had just stayed at third. Gomez slipped on the mound and got called for a balk. So that would have tied the game if you had just had Wong stay at third. And obviously, you don't know if that's how it's going to play out still. But it hurts extra knowing that, the Sox would have tied the game in the ninth had Connor Wong stayed at third. So that's just it's super frustrating. Just an overall real frustrating series. Like it sucks knowing that a team like the Twins just somehow have your number like that, and there's nothing. It's like there's almost nothing the Red Sox could do. Like they're just finding ways to lose games, and I hate it. The Red Sox should be friggin'. The Red Sox should be contending right now, and they are disgustingly bad right now. They have the worst home record, and they have the worst home record in the majors right now, 8-17. Like that is pitiful, absolutely disgusting. Now I'm just like what do the Red Sox do? Like if you're the front office, you see the team isn't performing. Like, what do you do? Like, do you blow it all up? I don't think that's gonna happen. To clarify, Red Sox might chip off. The Red Sox might chip off one or two pieces, maybe, but I doubt they're gonna blow it all up. I kind of don't think they should. They might just they'll I think they got to retool something. I like you know because I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can pull off some kind of miraculous like comeback per se. I don't know if they can like rise from the ashes and become the hottest team in baseball again like they did last year after the Devers trade. You know, when they traded Devers, I thought for sure they were just like blowing it up and not going to do anything. And maybe they would have if they didn't magically become the hottest team in baseball. But yeah, it's frustrating. I know I'm kind of repeating myself here, but it sucks. Things are bad right now. Brian Bayo needs to get sent down to AAA. Like either that or get sent to the bullpen and have Peyton Tolley take his place. Because the fact that Brian Bayo can't the fact that he cannot pitch a game, the fact that he cannot start a game is abysmal. That is absolutely disgusting from a guy who has been really good for the last couple of years. Like considering what so like for a guy who put up a 3.35 ERA, last year, the fact that he cannot start a game, the fact that he cannot pitch in the first inning of a game now, that sucks. Like Bayo has been absolutely god awful when starting games. Like seeing that he needs an opener now is just awful. Like, and for Bayo didn't even. Sure, he didn't end up allowing a run, but Moran did. And also, who's to say Bayo wouldn't have allowed 6 or 7 runs? 6, 7. Who's to say Bayo wouldn't have allowed like 6 runs if he did start that game? Like, I don't know if it's a mental issue or what, but it's insane to me that Bayo couldn't be that bad when starting a game, and he completely switches up when he has a reliever starting the game for him. Like when he has I think it's been Giovanni Moran every time. When he has someone like Giovanni Moran starting a game in the first inning, then he goes out there and he pitches decently, doesn't allow runs at least. Granted, he wasn't really pitching that well against the Twins. He had to escape out of multiple jams, which he managed to without letting an earned run across. But at this point, Bayo I think he just needs to get sent to the bullpen. Either the bullpen or Worcester. Like you need to do something with Bayo. Something's messed up, and I'm not gonna pretend like I know what it is. I'm not an insider. I don't have any inside sources. I'm just a Red Sox fan with a microphone. I'm a Red Sox fan with a microphone. And, one day I'd love to be an insider. That's what I went to college for. I went to college for journalism. But yeah. So something needs to be done with Bayo, and at this point, probably Durbin as well. I think send both Brian Bayo and Caleb Durbin to AAA. Let them sort their own crap out. And now I'm gonna get into the Celtics and specifically the Jaylen Brown trade rumors that have been floating around on mainly on Twitter, at least from what I've seen over the last however long since the Celtics got eliminated from the playoffs. And I'll start by saying this. Do I think Jaylen Brown's going to be gone? No. I don't think Brad Stevens would make a move like that. I think he'll find a way to drastically improve this team without sending Jaylen Brown or really any or without sending Jaylen Brown or any other key pieces away. Granted, he did end up sending Marcus Smart away to get Kristaps Porzingis, and that obviously that worked out in his favor. But he's not exactly risk averse. I wouldn't exactly call him a passive GM, but I also don't think I also just think that Stevens will end up making a very savvy move. I think he'll end up making a very savvy move that will help the Celtics. I think he will either make a trade. He will either make a trade or sign someone in free agency that will help this team. I'll give more thoughts on like my sort of plan of attack for the offseason next week. But spoiler alert, I would love to see a reunion with Robert Williams. I really loved seeing Robert Williams on the court, and he provides what the Celtics need, which is rim protection. It's just like the plan of attack for the Celtics in their offseason, I think, is pretty clear. It should be to address the center position. Because honestly, I'm not sure if Neemias Queta can be a starting center for a championship team. And this is by no means a diss on the guy. I still think he should have been a finalist for Most Improved Player. This was really his first year with a real opportunity, and he, for the most part, excelled. But he, not only him, but him, Vucevic, and Garza all got exposed in the playoffs. They couldn't guard Joel Embiid worth a damn, and it just sucked. And speaking of Vucevic, I was really trying my best to advocate for Vooch whenever he didn't have a great performance or whatever. But I mean, yeah, I gotta say it at this point. That trade was a flop. Do I think? I'll say that trade was a flop. But at the same time, I also don't know if Simons was going to be. Also don't think Simons was the missing piece needed in order to win that series. I don't really think that. I think either way with Vooch, or if you have Simons on this team instead of Vooch, the Celtics still lose the series. I don't think Simons would have been able to help Boston, outshoot the. I don't think he would have been able to help Boston shoot themselves out of their slump or whatever, and pull off a game. I just think Simons would have just been a part of the struggles. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, getting back to the JB trade rumors. No, I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be gone. I think whoever is, whoever is pushing for Jaylen Brown to be gone is to put it simply kind of stupid. I I don't know. My mind is just going in a million different directions about this. I don't know what to think anymore. But I also still think that the Celtics' best chance to win is with the Jays as a duo. I still think that's their best shot at winning. Is the best shot at possibly winning a championship. So yeah, that's where I stand on the JB rumors. And that is all for this podcast, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And this is your boy JJ, and I'm gone.